The way you want to live your life is mastered by your own self.
All right, let's see how this pans out. I'm still in Sunny Isles Beach in Miami. It's an interesting place. And the weather, I mean, it's humid, it's sticky, it's a different feeling. So, but I like it. I prefer this to there's something more freeing about not having to wear as many clothes, you know, being able to wear shorts and t-shirt and just the freedom of movement. Even though I have a tendency to wear even my long cargo pants or anything like that, and my long sleeves, they're all tactical and athletic, so which are very similar. Tactical clothing sometimes tends to be more rugged, but still as flexible as athletic clothing. But the athletic clothing that I am using also is very durable. So now, one of the things that I've been exploring is this idea of the master artificial intelligence playlist. And this master artificial intelligence playlist is actually coming from the understanding of, first of all, how the circuit of thought in the subconscious mind and conditioning, training, programming, influencing, suggesting, basically how all of those things work in the human mind are very similar to how the algorithms online are working. And so what I mean by that is, when I talked about the sort of master artificial intelligence playlist and how this is basically what the technology has ultimately come to being. So it would be very interesting and a little hilarious to find out that all of the billions and trillions of dollars that will have gone into and will eventually go into developing artificial intelligence technology, that the technology that people talk about that, you know, we're not privy to, that we don't know about, ultimately amounts to basically the same kind of technology that is used to create a playlist. And that is the interest graph. The interest graph is basically an advanced technological version of playlist creation, because it follows the same pattern. In a playlist, for example, you select, let's talk about if it's either a playlist on YouTube or a playlist in, you know, using MP3 digital music, right? So, you know the process, but I'll go through it just because this is the same process as how the AI is working, right? So, you look for the tracks or the videos that you want. You select them, right? You click on them, you press it on the screen, whatever. And then you drop them into a folder or a list, right? And then you can change the order if you want to, for which one's going to play first, and so on and so forth, right? That's basically what you're doing with the playlist. And so this is the exact same thing that the most powerful artificial intelligence-based algorithms, the most powerful artificial intelligence-based algorithms on the planet, and might as well be in the universe as far as we know, are working. Because it's the only ones that we have experience with. And so that is what it amounts to. And because of that, right, what's happening is if you're not intentionally creating the playlist, however, right, if it just happens that you create this based off of allowing the algorithm to select for you by sending you down these what people call rabbit holes and doom scrolling and all that, right? So if you allow by default for that to happen, then what you're going to be presented with, right, what's going to be continually fed to your through your interest graph are things that are selected for you. The hack, what's really interesting is that even though these are the most powerful artificial intelligence systems on the planet, and people don't realize that it's actually been deployed upon them, and that is basically exactly as I've described it. It's basically an overblown playlist. We're selecting playlists by what we're spending time consuming. And the more we consume something, the more it will feed back to us. That's it. Just like how you select a playlist. You create a playlist and you hit play on that playlist, it will play back to you. Just like making an album. A band creates an album, they put it together, it has 9 songs on it. You press play, it plays track 1 through 9, right? That is exactly what the most powerful AI on Earth is doing right now. It's basically helping people to create a master playlist. And the reason why it's doing that, because in the same way that you have, like, for example, your favorite band or something like that, right? You're going to play that over and over again, right? And you're going to keep playing it as much as you want, and it's going to keep you there, right? That's the one thing, like maybe you only have one album and you just keep going back to it, right? So again, the real purpose of all of that is to keep you glued to those channels, because the longer you stay on those channels, the better you're going to feel, because you're being fed things that you're interested in, things that you like. And you're going to be in a better mood, and you'll be more open to purchasing. I mean, this is the foundation of it all, is to support your consumerism, to support your consumption, which I don't have a problem with that at all. I get it. I understand all businesses on earth have to make money, and that's the bottom line. That's fun. That's fine. And I think I Freudian slipped and said that's fun, so I guess it is. I believe it's fun. It's fun and it's fine. And so this is really, I mean, it's not that complicated. The way that we're creating, the same way that a person creates a playlist is the same way that the most powerful artificial intelligence systems on the planet, as far as they are deployed into social media, are working. That's it. It's designed to keep you entertained, to keep you occupied on the channel, so that you are basically more susceptible to the advertisements that they unleash upon you. And the interesting thing that just came to mind, especially because most of this is based on the analogy and how analogous this is to clinical hypnosis, right? And what we're doing is that by continually feeding you things that are pleasant to you in your interest graph, right, that are going to keep you glued to the social media, that aspect of the effect that it has that I described, of where you're more susceptible to, you're more likely to stick around for the advertisements, especially because the advertisements are also in line with the interests that you have. They're going to sell you things that you're interested in, or that are generally based around those kind of things. It's the same thing as in clinical hypnosis, how we do things. We overload with message units to get past the critical filter, right? So, because the critical filter stops new experiences from getting into the subconscious mind. And for all intents and purposes, an advertisement is the equivalent of a new idea, a new thought. And the subconscious mind will usually reject new ideas and reject new thoughts right? Unless it's overloaded by messages or other things that are familiar, are used as vectors to get it to slip past the critical filter. And so it kind of reminds me of there was a technology that was being worked on some years ago in order to get psychiatric drugs directly past the blood-brain barrier. And so what was being done is that the chemical, let's say it's like a neuroleptic, was being wrapped in a fatty acid molecule, such as like docosahexaenoic acid or icopentosanoic acid, so that it would slip past the blood-brain barrier and get into the brain, instead of you having to overload the entire body system with this large amount of this neuroleptic chemical, which they would say it was done for the purpose of getting the bloodstream saturated up to the proper steady state peak, and then once you got to that steady state peak, then it would level off and you would be on the therapeutic dosage. And getting to that steady state peak and maintaining it is the reason why you titrate up to that dosage. But now, that's actually a very analogous to the old way that social media and the internet was working, is basically bombarding, shotgun blasting all kinds of information as much as possible out to the masses, and then hoping that's because of that saturation, right? You can imagine like the world is the bloodstream, and then you put all that information out into the world until it gets saturated, and then some of it gets through to some of the people, which will then be affected by the therapeutic dose, which is to go buy something. And now it's much more precise. There's a lot more precision, because now you are choosing it. And this also goes to the idea of the manufactured consent and the illusion of choice, because you're given a limited amount of things to choose from. So with that limited amount of things to choose from, which seems like a lot of variety, right? But it's still a bubble of things. And so you have that limited amount of things to choose from, and with that limited amount of things to choose from, which is still within the allowed types of information, right? Then you're still basically within the control of those who want to send certain types of information and for you to buy certain kinds of things. Now, the way that I'm describing it, I know it sounds sinister, but it's not. It's really for the purpose of making sales, to encourage consumerism, to sell products and services. And if you think that's sinister, well, you know, that's what you think. I mean, I only think that it's sinister if the things are really bad for people, which there's an argument that some of those things are. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like there aren't things that are being sold to people that are toxic and not good for them. I mean, we all know that. It's not a mystery. But again, just as curating a playlist, right? Just as you choose the things that you want to be in your playlist, in your cycle, right? In that same way, you also have to curate the things that are being sold to you as well. And I talked about this before, about how, you know, even though the things that are coming to you on your playlist will be aligned with your interests, some of that stuff is only masquerading as what's in alignment with what you really want. Some of it just seems like it. And there's a lot of that, and that's understandable. That's understandable. But again, we have to be responsible. I think one of the problems is that we kind of want everything done for us and are not really willing to put in that work to make those kind of different selections. And you know, and that's where some of the real issues come in. It's just we've gotten so accustomed to just letting things be done for us in so many ways with technology that we just sort of expect the same more and more and more. And because of that expectation, if it doesn't happen, we get disappointed. It's interesting how we've been conditioned now to get disappointed because things don't happen quickly and automatically and done for us without us really having to check it. We've gotten to the point where we make assumptions that everything that comes our way, because of the convenience at which it's delivered, that because of that convenience, because of the difficulty has been removed on how to get access to certain things, we take the difficulty of the access to things to mean that it's not as good as something that's easy to get. And that's a little bit of a fallacy right there. And it's actually a great fallacy. So, convenience, it also is one of the aspects of this that really makes this system work. And I understand it. I get it. I'm not pushing against it. I think it's just fine. That's what it is. I think that what we need is awareness that this is how the system is operating, and then from that understanding, from that knowledge, we should be making our own decisions from there. But that's not what generally happens. Like I said, instead, because of things don't seem to be convenient, we take that inconvenience to be bad, because we've been so accustomed to be getting things in a very easy and convenient way. So, all right. So now, I think that is a good stop on this. I've worked that out. Let me see. I've talked about the playlist aspect, about how also once we get the things on the playlist, that we have to filter out the things that have kind of snuck in because they've been identified as those things that align with our goals. And then the understanding how even though we are curating these things on our playlist, one of the reasons why we continue to accept certain things is because of their ease of access. And we've sort of gotten accustomed to that. And also the ideas of the fact that one of the other aspects of all this is, so let's see, so there's the ease of access, there's the things that seem to get past the critical filter because of how they're identified. They seem to be able to align with what our goals are. And then there's the illusion of choice and the manufactured consent, that we're still, even then, what we think are all these choices we have, we're still locked in a bubble. And that also relates to why even then some things are masquerading as what we think we really want, but a lot of it's actually being chosen for us. So that's what can be considered regarding the basically highly advanced, this master artificial intelligence network that really is a glorified playlist creation software. So yeah, that's what we'll call it. It's the master artificial intelligence program is really a glorified glorified playlist creation software. And really not much more than that. And it's making everything convenient because we could just leave it by default, right? We could just let the playlist run by default and it'll keep on feeding us more and more and more of that stuff that we, as long as we just let it run, the stuff that we spend time on. Or we can be selective about it. And then even when we're selective about it, we have to still continue to be meticulous about selecting the things that pop up on those playlists. Because if we just kind of let it run, eventually, sometimes gradually, sometimes suddenly, it will start to derail and go off into different kinds of streams of consciousness. And so what people call, doom scrolling and going down the rabbit hole. But really the selection is that you have to keep it programmed back in line, because it's actually you that's training the artificial intelligence network. Like, all of the power that's gone into it has basically done nothing but create a glorified playlist creation software. And either you're in control of the playlist or you're just letting it be selected for you.